Hello everyone. This hour on Verbling, the next in my Getting Results in Business series, we're going to be doing a special reading class based on the topic that we've been doing this week. I made a little mistake because it said outsourcing, but it should say communications. So we'll be reading a text all about how technology has impacted communications and how people have dealt with it. Okay? We'll begin that in just a minute. First, a little bit about me. I'm Jon-Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, hanging out in Lisbon, Portugal to bring you this class. By the way, here are 3 quick rules to help you participate. Don't forget to, let's see if anyone is out there because I'm wondering if I have a connection problem here. Before I go on, let me just see if you can all see me. Hello, can you hear me? Chat window does appear to be working, so I think we're okay. But sometimes I get signed out. It looks like it's working. Okay, so if you can't hear me, or if you read the text, just let me know if everything's okay. All right, so 3 quick rules to help you participate. Turn off, tune in, and open up. That means turn off your microphone when you're not speaking so we can keep the classroom quiet. Tune in to the new words you're learning when you are speaking. Use them as actively as you can so I can correct you and give you feedback. Finally, open to your classmates. Relax and have fun. We're all here to learn, and this is a safe and respectful place to practice your English. And this is the reading that we're going to do. I'll put it on the screen. You've got the link as well, which I'll add. If you don't see it in the chat window, it is here now. There you go. So you can open it up. All right. Let's say hello to all of you being Shadow and Jabo. Hello, Shadow. How are you?
Hello, teacher. Doing great, thank you.
Hello, student.
I'm sorry.
I'm a person too, you know, Shadow.
Yes, I'm sorry, Mr. John.
Mr. John. Not Mr. I'm just John. Jon-Eric. Jabo. Mr. Jabo. How are you?
Hi, Mr. Jon-Eric.
It's not Mr. Just Jon-Eric. Yeah. Here's the funny thing.
Why two names combined together? Why
I don't.
John and hyphen and Eric?
You've got to ask my mother. I don't know. She was very indecisive. She couldn't pick one name. She had to pick 2.
Oh, indecisive. Okay.
I guess. I don't know.
Is that good personality when you're doing a business? Yeah, when you're indecisive.
Oh, she's not in business. She's not in business. It's okay. For those artistic types, it's okay to be indecisive, I think. It's a theory. Well, look, let's take a look at our text. So, the unit was communications. Oops. This is an extra reading class. Even if you weren't in the communications classes, it's okay. You can still do the reading. Let's read together. That's me at the bottom. That's a picture of me. Let's read together, discuss the articles, or the article, I should say, and learn even more vocabulary for this unit's theme, which is technology and communication. We're going to start here. If you just give me 1 second, I've got to open up. Something on my computer, because otherwise I'm going to be flipping back and forth between the last page and the first page. So I want to open a second copy on my computer. 1 moment. Oh, I can't open it up. That's bad. Uh-oh. Okay, never mind. I can't open it on my computer. So I guess I'm going to have to flip back and forth here. What I can do is, give me a second here. I've got a little technical problem. But what I can do is, yeah, I'll do this. I'll open another. Okay, give me just a minute, because what I've got to do is share a different screen with you. Because right now, yeah, hold on just a second. I'm going to have to open 2 copies of this, or I'm not going to be able to see what I'm doing. So let's go back to the text. We're going to start reading in just a second. Okay, that's what I want you to see. And then on my computer, I'm going to open a second copy of this, and I've got some notes I want to get access to. One moment. Almost there. Sorry for the delay. 1 second. Okay. Almost there. Opening folders. B2. Level B2. This is communications. Good. And here we go. This is what I want. All right. That's not working. Try again. Now I got it. Okay, we're ready to go. So before we read, I've just got a few questions to help you think about the material, or get used to it, I should say. So the first question is, as far as you know, how have communications changed your place of work? It could be where you work now, or where you're going to work if you're in school. And I want you to think about 3 different time periods. In the past 5 years, in the past decade, and in the past, and in general in the past. Okay? So think about that. What's your field, Jabo?
You mean that telecommunication?
No, what's your field? What's
you
your...
mean the technology changed our human life, right?
What field are you in, Jabo?
I feel it changed very rapidly. Yeah.
What field are you in? What's your job?
And,
what do you do? What do you do, Jabo?
I work as a call center in Taiwan. Yeah, in the telecommunication in Taiwan.
In telecommunications in a call center, okay?
Yes.
And Shadow, what field will you or are you working in now for Jabo to know?
I have to invent something, teacher.
No, don't invent.
Okay.
What field are you in or are you going into?
I'm going into university.
You're in university, so you're not going into university, but you're going into, because Jabo doesn't know you. So what field are you going into in the future?
Yeah, I wish to be academic teacher in university.
Did you change your mind?
I thought
you're going into law.
Yeah, I want to teach law in university.
Oh, okay. So the field you're going into is law, but you want to stick to academics. Okay, fine. Yeah. Very good. Got it. Okay. So let's think about that question. How have communications changed in your field? So we've got law or academics as well, and we've got working in a call center. So that's really quite about telecommunications. So over the past 5 years, Yaba, what would you say? Over the past 5 years, how have they changed?
Uh, I mean cell phone. Yeah, change very quickly.
Cell phones have changed a lot.
Five
Okay.
years ago, we don't have smartphone, but right now, everybody holding a smartphone. Okay.
Okay.
You hear me?
Smartphones.
Oh.
And Shadow, what about in law over the past 5 years? Have communications
Mm.
changed in any way, do you think?
Yeah, we use technology to solve many cases,
In what way?
like uh, fingerprints.
Okay. So something has changed with the communication about fingerprints or the fingerprints themselves?
Uh,
In other words, is the way you transmit the information different, or is fingerprinting itself different? Because I don't know
I,
anything about the field.
I didn't get it, teacher. Well, can you ask this question in another way?
I can try. Why don't you ask me the question that I asked you first? You ask it to me so I see what you understood. So rephrase the question for me.
How the communication has changed from the past 5 years.
That's exactly right. Yeah. How has communication changed in your area over the past 5 years?
So, oh yeah, so we use technology in communication more than before. We use it in sending emails,
Okay.
and it's um, uh, it's enough sending emails, teacher.
Okay. Okay. So in law, that's a big difference. Over the past 5 years, people are using email or online technology more.
Yeah, we can search about many information in the internet. It's
Okay.
easy to find things. It's more quickly than before.
It's quicker than before.
Yeah, it's quicker than before.
Okay, very good. Jabo, one more question before we read.
Well, all right.
What different ways do you use for staying in touch with colleagues, friends, and family? So
Okay.
thinking about communications, what different ways do you personally use to stay in touch?
I stay in touch with my family and friends by my cell phone.
Oh,
And
okay. A lot of calls. Do you call, texting, everything?
yeah, testing and you know that our cell phone have right now have internet, and we can use the internet to download some application. And there are some application very easily to communicate with our friends and family. And
Okay.
it is all free. Yeah, it's very convenient.
Just out of curiosity, what applications would you said download some applications?
This
Like
is
what?
application from Korea, South Korea, Line.
And
Do
what does it do?
you
Use
aware?
it like social media or something?
This is a application that if you download this application, you can send picture, send funny picture and interest picture to your family or your friend. You don't have to type the words. Yeah, because
Ah.
right now people feel that testing is very tired, so they don't want to testing. They just want to send a picture. Yeah, and in this application, there are so many pictures in this application. You can choose whatever you like. Some of them are free. Some of them you need to pay. Yeah, yeah. It's all decide what you want. Yeah. So I
Like
think it's very
like
convenient.
emoji, that kind of things? When you
Emoji?
say yeah, when you say pictures, you mean actual pictures, pictures that you take, or pictures that are already there?
There are some picture in it. Some cartoon picture, some funny picture. Not real person picture. Some
Wow.
character. Mhm.
Can you put
For
a
example, a rabbit or a pig or something like that.
Can you put a link to that so I can take a look in the chat window? Do you have a link?
Okay. Uh, uh, may, may you wait me 5 minutes and you can talk to Shadow or the other gentleman. Yeah. Okay. Is that okay for you?
Say again? I'm sorry?
I mean, I need to check on the internet for the
Okay,
translation.
okay. No, if you
So
have a link, add it for us.
okay, sure.
We can take
Yeah.
a look.
No, right now I am very concentrated talking with you. I have no
Okay.
hands to type a line, to search a line for you. The
Okay, no
application.
problem.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the introduction. We're going to read the introduction to the article. This is an article for business travelers. And according to the writer, how old do you need to be to remember the old days? Okay. Shadow, why don't you take the introduction for us, the one that's on screen?
Yeah. Newcomers to the world of business take all the methods of communication at our disposal for granted. Yet it's only really in the past 20 years that there has been such an increase in the possibilities. You could be in the rainforest of Papua New Guinea,
Correct?
but someone could get you on a cell phone. You could be lying on a beach in Rio between meetings when you get an urgent message on your BlackBerry. It's virtually impossible to be out of touch. Yet anybody over the age of 40 can remember what it was like in the olden days. We talked to 4 people about how changes in communication technology have affected their lives.
Okay. So, how old do you have to be according to the writer to remember
40,
olden days?
40 years.
40 years old. Those are the old days. Well, this article is a little bit out of date because they're talking about blackberries. So, what year, class, what year do you think this article was written? Because it's got blackberries. Would we say blackberries today?
Maybe
What,
19th?
90s? Yeah, maybe. I don't know when the BlackBerry first came out. I'm not sure. Maybe the late 90s. Could be. I don't know exactly when it came out. Could be. What would we say today? If we're going to give an example, would we say sat phone and BlackBerry, or would we say something else today?
Mobile?
Say again?
Mobile?
Mobile in general, but if we're going to give us a specific example of
iPhone.
iPhone, right? So most people would say iPhone and mobile instead of sat phone because sat phone is a satellite phone. Not even necessary these days. You can use them, but at the time, internet connections, Wi-Fi wasn't ubiquitous. It wasn't everywhere. Okay, so let's see. Jabo, why don't you continue? Let me just get to the next page. Why don't you take the one from Julie Donnelly?
Okay, sure. Julie Donnelly has been recruiting staff for an educational NGO for 30 years. When I first started, everything was done by mail or phone. Then, when the mass machine became available, we had to employ someone just to feed phones into the machine. Although we deal with applications online, it has led to an enormous increase in the amount of work. To be honest, it is no more efficient now than 30 years ago.
So what technology is she talking about here, Jabo?
Fast machine, yes.
Fax.
A fast machine.
You
Sorry,
gotta
my
you,
pronunciation.
you need the k sound.
Fax.
Fax.
Mm-hmm. Fax.
Okay.
Fax machine.
Okay. And does she think that the fax machine was an improvement? Oh, actually, wait. Although we deal with applications online, does she think that the internet is an improvement over the fax machine?
Mm, She think that it has it it has an enormous increase in the work. Yeah, in the
So
amount of work.
is that good or bad?
No, he said to be honest, it's no more efficient than
Exactly. So
years ago.
for for Julia, it's not an improvement. We may disagree, but for Julia, there's a lot more work, not business, but work. Okay,
Mhm.
we've got four of these I think we're going to read. So Amir, can you take Drusilla Havel and read her little profile about technology affecting communication?
Okay, Drusilla Havel works in an advertising agency with offices in London, New York, and Tokyo. We have a teleconferencing system where we sit in front of a camera in our respective countries and speak to colleagues in different parts of the world. It can be a real headache setting these up, particularly when you are dealing with so many time zones. I never feel very comfortable interacting with people this way. I feel like a dummy in a shop window. We also use conference calls. You know, you ring a central number, tap in your code, and you're connected to speakerphone. Personally, I think that is even less successful as you can't see who's speaking or tell what people are thinking when they are silent.
Okay, very good. Um, by the way, pronunciation, just one word.
Uh,
Teleconferencing.
Teleconferencing.
Yeah, but the stress is on teleconferencing.
Tel,
I think
tel,
it's on the first here.
tel,
Telecom.
teleconferencing. Yeah.
That's it.
Mhm.
Is
Okay.
Drusilla positive or negative toward communication technology, in your opinion, Amir?
Yes, I think she's a little bit negative about teleconferencing and the communication skills.
I agree. So
Yeah.
what's her reservation?
I think she said she never feel very comfortable interacting with people in this way.
Okay. And
Mhm.
what kind of interaction would she prefer and why? I agree with you, but let's
Yeah.
be clear. What kind of interaction does she prefer?
Connecting via phone.
She prefers she prefers connecting by phone,
Yeah, using the phone. Yeah.
but teleconferencing is a kind of a phone call. Don't you agree?
Yes, again. Yeah.
So
That.
she's not comfortable with it.
Yeah, yeah.
So what do you think, class? Let's get another idea here.
Mhm.
If Drusilla, all of you, if Drusilla had her choice, what do you think she would prefer, in your opinion? All of you. What do you think?
Yeah. She suggests using conference calls.
Yeah, but there's still a problem there because she
Mhm.
says
She
you
feel uncomfortable. Yeah.
she feels uncomfortable because you can't see who's speaking.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
So
she
go ahead, Jabo.
prefer
Mm.
so she prefer to meet the person to see a person in real life, right? In real person,
Face to face.
face to face. But what if you need to have a meeting with the customer, and the customer is very far from your area? I think telecom conference is very convenient because they can connect to different position, no matter how far there is. Yeah. Hmm. So
Absolutely.
it
Absolutely.
can save the cost.
So what could Drusilla do so that she can still connect with those people but have a face to face meeting? What could she do? What would you suggest her to do? What could you suggest that she does, I should say? Hello?
Me? You ask me or?
Well, yeah, sure. All of you.
Oh, okay. Uh, you mean that she want to face to face with her customer?
Well,
I
that's what
mean,
she's missing, right? She doesn't feel comfortable because she can't see who's speaking. So, in order to still connect with customers, how could she have a face-to-face meeting or something like it? What would you suggest?
how about video conference? Yeah,
How about video conferencing? Why not?
yeah, why
How
not?
about Skyping?
Yeah, Skyping. Yeah, you can face to face. Yeah, with the video. Yeah, and with the camera, just watching you. Yeah, watch you and your friend, your customer.
Yeah, there could be other suggestions too, but it seems like she's missing that body language. Like she thinks that that's somehow really important. She's not getting it, um, particularly with what people are thinking when they're silent. So I guess she needs to see body language. Okay, so maybe Skyping is an answer. Maybe. All right. Well, Jabba, why don't you continue with Jens Holby in our second to last text?
Okay. International business veteran James Horby believes there is no substitute for meeting people face to face. After 9/11, we cut down on air travel by using video conferencing, but it just didn't work. In the Middle East and the South of America, they insist on knowing who they are dealing with. We need high touch as well as high tech. I like to be able to smell the other guy. This guy, there is just such a communications overload. In the old days, when you were away, you were away. Now everybody expects you to take the office with you. Every hotel has his hotspot, so there's no excuse not to check your email. It's especially tough when you find yourself in a different time zone. Nowadays, I feel as though I'm on sale. I'm on call 24/7 hours, 24 days,
24/7.
24/7. The only place I feel kind of safe is on the plane.
Well, nowadays you can also phone on a plane. So this is a little bit out of date. Um, so what do you think? What do you think, Amir? Um, is this person
She,
similar or different? Go ahead. Sorry.
uh, this gentleman like to meet people face to face. Yeah. Mhm.
So basically similar to who was the person before? Felicity, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, no,
Yes.
no, no. It was Drusilla. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, Amir, what does being on call mean? Do you know that term? On call. Amir, are you there?
Yes, I'm on call now.
You're on call now?
Yeah, just kidding.
Oh, okay. What kind of profession? What kind of professional is usually on call?
Yeah, sometimes it's a businessman or something is always in call or meeting.
Could be, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe there's an even better example. Besides
Yeah,
business people, what do you think?
maybe the manager of the company or
What field normally has someone on call? Jabba, what do you think? When we think about on
Uh,
call, we usually think about what kind of person?
mm,
oh yeah.
it, I think salesperson, right?
Uh,
Salesperson.
I disagree.
Disagree?
I disagree.
Why? Because they need to serve their customer 24 hours and
Yeah,
24
but they're not
7
on call. They're not
on
on
call.
call. So
Mhm.
on call. we would expect for someone who works in a hospital, on call. There always has to be a staff on call in case there's an emergency.
Okay, I see. Just like some worker at the ambulance car, right?
A worker at a what?
Or
Repeat?
911. 911
Yeah, emergency.
emergency. Okay.
That's right. So doctors are on call, emergency workers are on call, salespeople are not really on call. It's kind of a joke here. Okay, but doctors would be, because if there's an emergency, there needs to be a doctor who's able to come. So they're not working, but they're prepared to go to work if it's necessary. Just I wanted that part to be clear. Okay, so I'm on call 24/7 is the way that Jens Holby feels. It's not really the case. I guess, she or he, I don't know who it is, feels that way. Okay, Jabo, let's read our last profile here of Felicia. Wait, who read last? Was that you or?
Me, Jabo, yeah.
Oh,
So,
I'm sorry. Amir. Can you take the last one for us? Realtor Felicia Gomez.
Yes, exactly. Reader Felicia Gomez, who works in Florida, complains about the mobile phone. I remember getting my first one over 20 years ago. It was the size of a brick, but I felt like the coolest girl in Milestone. Milestone, it's like a milestone round my neck. Some clients use the mobile phone as a kind of acid test to see how serious you are. They want a number where they think they can reach you night or day. Oh yeah. They wouldn't even think twice about. Sorry.
Uh-oh. Maybe he can't read right now. Well, Jabba, why don't you just pick up where he left off, if you don't mind?
okay, so where are we at? Where
I
where
think
he stopped?
I think he stopped at they want a number where they can reach you night or day.
Okay, they want a number where they think they can reach you right night and all day. They wouldn't even think twice about pestering you on Sunday. The situation has gotten so ridiculous that I have 3 cell phones. One is for the office, another one is for crimes, and the last one is so private that only my mom and kids had a number. Now, when clients ask for a mobile number, I hesitate a heartbeat and then wink at them before giving them the number of my client's cell phone number, as though it is a big deal. It makes them feel special even if all they get is my voicemail.
Okay, there you go. So,
Mhm.
what does Felicia Gomez do for a living? What's her job?
Let's see some kind.
It says Realtor Felicia Gomez. So, what does she do for a living?
Mm,
Is she a doctor? No, not a doctor.
no.
What's a realtor? What's a realtor?
Oh, I didn't see her vocation in this paragraph.
Look at the very first word at the top of the column. Very first word.
But first, I remember I get my first. Okay.
Realtor.
Realtor. Okay, I see, I see. So he probably sell house or some. Or,
She probably sells houses.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Sell.
right.
Mhm.
That's right. So she sells houses or property, or rents houses and property. Okay. Um, does she see mobile technology as helpful? It's a help or a hindrance?
She feel the mobile phone is not very convenient. Yeah, because when someone knows his cell phone, you need to pick up, and there are so many phone calls. She feel like overwhelmed by so many phone calls. So she just bought 3 cell phones, one for clients and one for a private life. Yeah.
That's it. So is it a help or a hindrance to use the target words in the vocabulary window? Help or hindrance?
I think it's hindered because
Hindrance, good.
she bought 3 cell phones. You know, normal people don't do that, but she bought 3. So I think cell phone really pester her a lot.
Yeah, good use of vocabulary. They pester her. Good key word, pester. Okay, very good. I agree. It's a hindrance for her. On the next 3 pages, I have some exercises for you to work with. To work with vocabulary. You can see on slide 7, and slide 7 is vocabulary. Slide 8 is more, vocabulary as well, but more open questions. So we're going to start with just comprehension, though, just making sure everything is clear. Let's see, and this is to both of you, so feel free to answer. Both of you, I'm not talking to anyone specific. Feel free to answer. If you can't speak, just write in the chat window, okay? Number 1, what different developments in communications does Julia mention? Remember Julia? You might have to jump back. So Julia is
the first article.
one. Right. So what are some different developments in communications that Julia mentions?
Okay, the fax machine.
Fax.
Fax machine.
Good.
Has come to the earth.
Okay. Something along those lines. The fax machine entered entered business, whatever it was, 20 years ago. Now it'd probably be more like 40 years ago, but that's the idea. Okay. Okay, anything else? Silence.
Mail and phone.
Well, if I take a quick look, I see that she talks about online applications too.
Oh, application online.
Yeah, so
The internet, right?
yeah, so she's talking about the developments from the fax machine, which was through the phone line, to applications, software, which is through the internet. So she's actually covering the full range of changes over the past 20 years. From the phone line to the internet is the big leap. Okay? What impact has this had on the amount of work and the quality of the results? Well, we already mentioned this, but just to recap, what was the impact for Julia?
When the fax machine became available, she feel that her work has increased. So she didn't think that fax machine is efficient.
Are you talking? Excuse me. Are you talking about the fax machine or the applications?
Yeah, fax machine.
Let's take a look. Yes. Although we deal with online applications, is although adding information or contrasting information? That word, although, Jabo, is it adding or contrasting information? Is it like
I
and
think
or is it like but? The word although.
oral and, right?
I did it although I didn't want to. I'm not saying I did it and then I did something else and then I did a third thing. I'm not adding information. I'm showing the difference.
Or contrary
Contra
idea.
exactly. Contrary idea. So I say contrast. It's a contrast connector, although is a contrast word. So if it's contrasting, what two things is it contrasting? Online applications with what?
With fax machine.
Correct. So it's contrasting now from then. Okay? So did the new technology was the new technology a help or a hindrance compared to the old technology?
I think it's a hinder. Yeah,
Exactly. Hindrance. Exactly. So if you see that key word and you know that it contrasts, it makes it easier to see the point she's making. Online applications gave her more work and more trouble compared to the fax machine. At least that's the idea we get. So instead of making life easier, it complicated things. I don't know why she thinks that, but that's what she thinks. All right. And Amir, even if you can't use your microphone, feel free to write in the chat window, okay? So you can still participate. Let's take a look at maybe one question from each of these, and then I want to go to the vocabulary specifically. Okay, so one question about Drusilla. Why do you think Drusilla's firm uses video conferencing? Okay, we know how she feels about it, but why do they use video conferencing? And Drusilla was second person, Drusilla Havel.
Because her customer come from different kind of worlds, different parts of the world. So
different parts of the world.
This is very far distance. So her company think that using a teleconferencing system is more convenient.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Okay. Let's go back here to the questions. Okay, forget Drusilla. Let's go on to Jen's. Why did Jen's firm try to reduce air travel? Do you remember that from the text? What was the problem?
Because there is the terrorist attack at a Twin Tower on 9/11.
That's it, 9/11, right?
Yeah, 9/11.
So that forced them to use a new solution.
Yes.
And what was the new solution they chose? Do you remember?
Video conference.
Video conferencing.
Oh, conferencing. Yeah.
That's it. They chose video conferencing. Okay. Let's move on to, let's skip her for a second. Let's move on to Felicia. How has Felicia's attitude to the mobile phone changed? And Felicia, you'll remember, is the last one, the realtor. Real estate agent.
The agent, okay.
Okay. So, what can we say about her? How has Felicia's attitude to mobile phones changed?
She's seen the mobile change so rapidly, and so many people know her cell phone number and call in a lot. She feels very pestered about the situation she got.
She feels pestered by everyone. And in the beginning, 20 years ago, did she feel pestered?
No, she feel like she's the coolest girl in the town, because owning a cell phone is very rare. was very
Exactly.
rare in that time. So she feel like very curious, very fashion girl in a town.
Very fashionable.
Yeah,
Fashionable.
fashionable. Yes.
Also in the chat window. Okay, I remember these. My father had a cell phone in the, I guess it was the early 80s. I can't remember. It was
It's very
this.
big. It
It was.
was very big,
It was a
very big.
briefcase. It was
A
an
briefcase.
actual briefcase. It was a briefcase you'd carry around with you, and he plugged it into the lighter, the cigarette lighter in the car. Cars used to have a cigarette lighter in them, and that's where he got the electricity from. And the mobile phones were analog; they weren't digital, so there was an antenna.
So, uh, did your father use the cell phone, old-fashioned cell phone to beat someone? Oh,
He was using the mobile phone when nobody had one. It was like 83, something like that. Nobody had a mobile phone. He had one. He drove around in his car a lot, so he would get calls and receive calls and make calls. Here's the thing. He told me that he used to spend at the time like $1,000 a month just in phone calls because it was so expensive to use a mobile phone because no one had one.
yeah.
So it
And
kind of
also the mobile
defeats the
phone
purpose.
in your father's days was also very expensive. Yeah.
Very
Very
expensive.
huge size.
Big and expensive, but
And
it looked
your
great.
father can use it as a weapon, yeah, to beat someone.
You could use it as a shield. It was so big that you could use it like to dodge bullets or something. It was gigantic. Uh, anyway, I remember those. I remember those old phones. Okay, I think you've got the general idea. So let's focus a little bit on vocabulary here, okay? And we're going to do a bit of matching first. You're going to match 1 to 6 to ADF to create collocations. You can always cheat and go back to the text, okay? Collocation is a word pattern. For example, the word do and the word make are the same in Italian, but they're different in English. So in Italian, everything is do. Do a phone call, do your bed, do your homework, or make a phone call, make your bed, make your homework. It's the same word. In English, they're different words. So we call those collocations of make and do. We do our homework, but we make the bed. So homework collocates with do, bed collocates with make. What that means is there's two patterns. There's no logic. You just have to be exposed. There's no way you can really figure it out on your own. You just have to hear it. There are some rules, but they're not worth learning. They're too complicated and they're too irregular. Let's look at this list and you tell me what you think the collocation is. Take a moment. You can write your answers in the chat window. All right, maybe that's the best way to do it. So you just write, like, for example, 1A, 2B, right? So take a minute, match them up on your own. If you like, skip back to the text, and then let's compare answers, okay? I'll give you like a minute or two to try it, okay? So both of you, if you could write your answers in the chat window, we'll look at them in just a minute. I'll give you 2 minutes, okay? By the way, there might be more than one right answer. There might be more than one way to match these. Okay, how are we doing? Are you more or less ready? You can put all of your answers, Amir. You can put all of them from 1 to 6 right away. You too, Jabo. Jabo, are you there? Are you putting your answers?
Okay.
Yeah, just write them all together from 1 to 6. So Amir did the first one. Amir, you can do the others all in the same text box if you like. And then let's compare. I don't see any answers. What's going on?
Could you wait 1 minute?
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Okay, so I see all of your answers, Jabo. And Amir, can you do the same? Can you put in your answers besides the first? Put them all in. I only see one right now. Okay, so Amir, add your other answers. There we go. Good. Okay. So Amir says 1C, which would be urgent message. And Jabo, what would you say for number 1?
Urgent call.
Urgent call. Okay. I think, and then in the text, did you find it in the text? What did they say actually in the profiles we read?
Or
Did you find it?
emergency call, urgent message.
No, in the actual texts in the reading that we did you actually see the word urgent anywhere? If you didn't find it, it's okay. I'm just curious if you saw it in the actual texts. No?
No.
Okay, no problem. So, urgent call is perfect. You've got an urgent call. Oh, tell them to wait. Urgent message. The problem with the message is that it's hard to make a message urgent, because if you don't know what it is, you can't know if it's urgent. So I would say urgent call is a better answer in this case. There can be an urgent situation in the message, but we probably wouldn't use the word urgent message itself. Probably not. Okay, so we'll go with urgent call for number 1, and maybe there's some others we could use. Number 2. So Amir, you're saying 2 is D, so that would be virtually impossible. I think no, that's you, Jabo. Sorry, you said virtually impossible, and Amir, you're saying 2F, virtually overload. So, Jabo, what part of speech is virtually? Noun, adjective, adverb, preposition?
Adverb.
Virtually is an adverb. Okay. And if you connect it to D, what part of speech is impossible?
Adjective.
Very good. So we could say a virtually impossible situation. And situation is the thing that is being described. Now, if we match it with 2F, we got a problem, because is overload an adjective?
Overload is maybe a noun, right?
It is a noun. So we cannot use an adverb to describe a noun. So that's why it doesn't fit. Can we change overload to an adjective? Yes, we can. What would overload be as an adjective?
Overloaded.
Fantastic. So virtually overloaded is possible. It's possible to say. Okay, so the way it is now, it doesn't match, but we could make it match. Let's see. We only have a minute or two. I think the best thing to do is for you to complete the other exercises. I give you the answers at the end of this document. I have to do it too. I don't have the answers, but I'm going to do it myself and post the answers. Then see how many vocabulary exercises vocabulary questions you get right, and then you can send me your questions through the Verbling message system if there's a question. All right. Let me just see, because I think we're not going to have time to do all of these. For the last exercise, work in pairs or groups, discuss these questions. I would suggest that you write your answer. You can pick one, or you can combine them together, or you can write separate answers. Because we're not going to have time to do a full discussion, but you could write your answers to the questions on slide 8. And for 1 to 6 on the top and 1 to 8 on the bottom, I will do it and post the answers. I'll add a page to the end where you can check your answers against the original. And if you have any questions, send me a message and I'll clarify whatever the problem is, okay, if there's any confusion. So we're going to work on collocations. Then you're going to work on matching the definition to phrases that you found in the text. So 2 ways to work with vocabulary. The last step is to go to slide 8 and use that vocabulary to answer one or all of the questions. You can do that by writing. In the next communication class, which is going to be on Monday, maybe we can also go over the answers as well. I'd like to hear your answers so we can talk about it a little bit in the beginning of class. Okay? But the best way would be to do writing in this case. Does that sound okay?
Okay, all right.
Okay. Give it a shot. Okay?
Okay. So I have a question. How can I give the answers of those questions?
Well, I'm going to add a page with the answers to the end of this document later today.
Mm-hmm.
So keep the link to the document in your notes.
Yes.
And then I'll send you a message through Verbling when the answers are there. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, got you.
Okay, and if you want to write out your answers and send them to me, do it through the Verbling message system on the top right side of the Verbling page. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. You don't have to, it's up to you. But if you want to, just go, oops, no, that's not what I want to do, sorry. Just go, on the top right, you see the little message window here. Click on it, and you can copy and paste directly through the message window. And look, yesterday, someone did exactly that. Saida, she wrote her text here, and then I corrected it and sent it back to her here. Okay? So that's a quick way to work with writing. Probably the easiest way to do it. Okay? So if you want to do the writing, send it to me. I'll correct it and send it back. Sound okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Fantastic.
Read the text again on your own so that it'll make your life easier when you go to do the vocabulary. Okay? Read it a second time.
Sure.
Make your life easy, and you'll remember more too. Okay, guys, we're going to have to stop here. I will send you a message when I have the answers done, and I look forward to correcting your writing later today or whenever you want. Okay? Bye for now.
Okay.
See you soon.
Bye,
Have a
John.
great day. Bye for now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.